Steve Larslier from Woodpreneur Life. Hope you're well. Today we're going to be talking about how to source wood and build industry relationships. Hey, so the big question, especially when you are starting a wood business, lumber, sawmill, woodworking, is like, how do you network and how do you find the good stuff? And it's really really interesting because before you had to like know a lot of people locally. It's almost like finding wood and getting knowing all of the sort of in people in the wood industry. You had to show up at events and conferences, or you just had to like drive around and hopefully get to know people. The interesting thing about today is that now you don't need to do that. The best thing is having a phone, a phone, and gives you access to the whole entire world. And so, especially so like we're big on Instagram. We love Instagram. Haven't delved in too deep on on LinkedIn, and we are big on Facebook. And so I'm going to give you a couple different ways in which you can just get good relationships with people, and just get good relationships, and then to be able to get access to good products. So the first thing, and I didn't come up with this idea myself. Somebody that I knew uh, did this, and so they were like, "Hey, Steve, I listened to your podcast, and um, and I just want to let you know that the podcast has really changed everything for me." And what they told me that they send a email or a DM to everybody that has been on the podcast. And so, and then they were like, yeah, so they were able to network and grow and just learn new things from people that were been on the podcast. So like that's just the one thing. It's just like go and listen to the podcast and then reach out to the people. And then what you do is you tell them, hey, I listened to you on the Woodpreneur podcast, and um, I love what you said about this, this, and this. And I was wondering what you thought about this, or if there's anything that I could do to help you, period. Like, so relationships, it's networking is really all about exchange and value. So like, what are you learning? What are you growing? And then what other people are learning to do to grow themselves. So that's the first thing. Listen to the podcast. The second thing is searching through hashtags. And so I, specifically created hashtag sawmill business and then hashtag woodpreneur, literally because I wanted all of the whole community to just have a place uh, where they could share their work. And then it literally happens all in the DMs, right? Like sliding into DMs, hitting up people, telling them, building relationships. It's the same. So that's the third thing. And then locally, how you can source wood um, is by again, doing outreach. So on before you do this, I would highly suggest that like you kind of get your story straight. So if you're starting out, or if you're well established, it's really about having that good presence, right? And so you can send people an email, but make sure that if you don't have a website, you put your Instagram, you put your Facebook, and then when people click on those links, the thing that you represent to who you are. That's why I'm a big fan of like making sure that you put yourself and your work out there even more, right? And so like put pictures of you, of your products, your services, write a good mission, show video, so then it adds personality. Like if you're not showing personality, no one's going to want to do business with you, especially today. Before I mean, it was easier in many ways uh to get business because it was like face to face, in person. However, because there's so many different people, like now you're not just competing with other wood businesses in your area, you're competing with people globally. There are people down the street from you in the same, they can buy products and services. They could buy products from people across the country. So you're missing out. So it's really important for you to get your brand and your story straight, and for you to have a very clear picture of who you are before you start outreaching to people. And so for you, what I want you to do is to like get your profiles correct, get your mission, your vision, your stories correct, and then go out and then you just come up with a story like, hey, I'm a wood business, I'm looking for, for some logs that I can mill, right? Like you could call tree service companies, right? You can call arborists in your town, right? Like that's how you start to build relationships. And I said this before, and probably another video, is that like there's an opportunity for you to position yourself as a leader in the urban lumber movement. And just, if you are the center for all of the relationships of the ecosystem in your area, you can be the beneficiary of a lot of opportunities. Anyway, I hope you found that super useful. I'm excited to share more of these videos with you, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, take care.